Are you tired of waiting for motivation to strike before you take action? Imagine a life where you're always ready to act, no matter the obstacles. This is where the ancient wisdom of Stoicism comes in. I'll share with you 10 powerful Stoic-inspired strategies to help you force yourself to take purposeful action, even on the hardest days. Think about it. You know what you want. You have the goals, but every time you go to take that first step, something holds you back. It could be procrastination, self-doubt, or just the overwhelming feeling of, where do I even start? I'm going to break down actionable Stoic principles that tackle these exact struggles. Imagine overcoming procrastination, finding clarity of purpose, and actually turning challenges into opportunities for growth. These aren't just philosophies. They're practical techniques that have helped people lead more disciplined and focused lives for centuries. By the end of this video, you'll have 10 strategies you can apply daily to transform your habits, simplify your life, and finally take control of your actions. These are timeless insights designed to help you become a more intentional, resilient version of yourself. Ready to master the art of purposeful action? Let's dive into each of these Stoic principles, starting now. 1. Take small steps. Whenever I think about a big goal I want to accomplish, I admit I often feel overwhelmed. The vision of what I want can be so massive that it's hard to know where to start. I remind myself of the Stoic wisdom about taking small, steady steps toward any significant goal. Rather than focusing on the intimidating end point, I try to break things down into smaller, more manageable actions that I can work on daily. In my experience, these small steps are where the real momentum starts. Each step, no matter how small, is a little victory that gives me a sense of accomplishment and motivates me to keep going. There have been times when I've tried to do too much at once and felt burnt out or even defeated. But when I slow down and take things one step at a time, I can build up a consistent rhythm, making it much easier to stick with my goals over the long term. This approach doesn't just work for big dreams, but also for everyday tasks. If I feel overwhelmed by a project at work or something at home, I break it down and tackle each part one at a time. Doing this helps me feel more in control and makes even the toughest tasks feel achievable. With each small step, I remind myself that I'm moving forward, and that's all that really matters. In the end, progress is about persistence, not perfection. Taking things one small step at a time keeps me grounded, focused, and motivated to keep going. 2. Embrace memento mori to boost urgency. Reflecting on the concept of memento mori, remembering that life is finite, has changed how I approach my time and priorities. The reminder that life isn't endless isn't something morbid or negative. Instead, it's a way to focus on what truly matters. Whenever I'm tempted to procrastinate or spend too much time on things that don't align with my values, I pause and think about how I'd feel if this was my last day. How would I want to spend it? This perspective helps me cut through the noise and focus on actions that genuinely matter to me. It's a gentle nudge to stop waiting for the right moment and to start acting with purpose and urgency. If I have a goal I've been putting off, memento mori pushes me to start now, rather than waiting for everything to feel perfect, which rarely happens anyway. Thinking this way also helps me appreciate the present. I know that my time is limited, so I'm motivated to make the most of each day. Instead of spending hours scrolling through social media or getting lost in trivial distractions, I'm more likely to reach out to loved ones, work on my passions, or do something that adds value to my life. Knowing that time is fleeting makes me more mindful and intentional, pushing me to take purposeful action rather than letting time slip by unnoticed. Embracing memento mori has brought more meaning to my life, encouraging me to live fully and act with clarity and commitment every day. 3. Cultivate gratitude for the opportunity to act. When daily tasks pile up or my to-do list feels endless, I sometimes catch myself feeling frustrated or overwhelmed. But instead of letting those feelings take over, I've learned to pause and find gratitude for the opportunity to act. Stoicism teaches that every task, even the small or tedious ones, is an opportunity to practice patience, resilience, and discipline. When I approach my responsibilities this way, they transform from chores to chances for growth. This mindset shift has changed how I feel about routine. Instead of dreading certain tasks, I see them as a way to build my character and strengthen my resolve. Whether it's working out, staying late to finish a project, or simply doing household chores, I remind myself that each action is part of a bigger picture. Every effort, no matter how small, contributes to my personal growth. Gratitude also makes these tasks feel lighter. When I remind myself that I have the ability and time to take action, it feels like a privilege rather than a burden. There are countless people who might long for the chance to pursue what I sometimes take for granted. So, instead of viewing my responsibilities as exhausting, I see them as gifts that allow me to grow and live fully. This perspective not only motivates me to take action, but also fills my day with a sense of purpose and appreciation, turning every task into a meaningful part of my journey. 4. Overcome procrastination. Procrastination has always been a tough habit for me to break. It's easy to choose comfort and avoid the hard work, but I've realized that procrastination isn't just about avoiding tasks. It's a barrier to my own growth. Stoicism encourages us to act in the present, knowing that time is one of our most precious resources. When I procrastinate, I'm letting go of something I'll never get back: time. What has helped me is reframing each task as a step towards the life I want. If I delay action, I'm actually choosing to delay my progress and hold myself back. I remind myself that every moment spent avoiding a task is time I could be investing in my own future. This awareness is like an internal nudge that keeps me focused on the bigger picture. Procrastination might offer short-term comfort, but in the long run, it just adds stress and regret. Breaking free from procrastination is also about accepting discomfort. Instead of seeing challenges as reasons to avoid something, I try to see them as opportunities to strengthen my resilience. Taking action isn't always easy, but I find that when I push through, I feel a sense of satisfaction and pride that's far more fulfilling than avoidance. The Stoic mindset has taught me that true freedom comes from discipline, not in avoiding hard work, but in embracing it. By focusing on the present and taking purposeful action, I'm breaking the cycle of procrastination and building a life of progress and fulfillment. 5. Discipline yourself. Self-discipline has been one of the most empowering tools in my life. When I think of discipline, I don't see it as a restrictive or limiting practice. Instead, it's my path to freedom. Stoicism teaches that when we control our actions and emotions, we gain the power to shape our lives rather than being pulled by fleeting whims or impulses. With self-discipline, I feel more aligned with my goals and values, as if I'm steering my own ship through life's currents. It's not always easy, of course. There are days when I just want to let go of all structure and indulge in comfort or distractions. But I've noticed that when I do this, I feel less fulfilled in the end. Discipline helps me stay on track with my goals, even when motivation fades. It's what keeps me committed to the things that truly matter to me, like health, learning, and personal growth. To make discipline a daily practice, I start small. I'll choose one action, like exercising, and commit to doing it consistently, even if only for a short time. Each small victory strengthens my self-control, creating a foundation for bigger challenges. When I follow through on my commitments, I feel a sense of accomplishment and self-respect that motivates me to keep going. Stoicism teaches that self-discipline isn't just a tool for productivity, it's a pathway to inner peace. By mastering myself, I gain the freedom to act with purpose and integrity in every area of my life. 6. Visualize potential outcomes. One powerful Stoic practice I've embraced is premeditatio malorum, imagining potential obstacles before they arise. This isn't about being pessimistic, rather it's a way to prepare myself mentally and emotionally for whatever challenges may come my way. When I visualize different scenarios, including setbacks, I feel more resilient and less likely to be thrown off course when things don't go as planned. For instance, if I'm working on an important project, I'll take a moment to think through possible challenges. Maybe there will be unexpected delays, or maybe I'll feel frustrated and want to give up. By acknowledging these possibilities up front, I can plan how I'll respond. I'm ready to handle obstacles with a calm, focused mind, rather than letting stress or anxiety take over. Visualizing potential outcomes also helps me appreciate the value of preparation. It encourages me to think ahead, stay organized, and build flexibility into my plans. I don't feel as reactive to situations because I've already mentally rehearsed how I'll handle them. This practice has given me a greater sense of control and confidence in my ability to adapt. Knowing that I'm prepared for whatever comes my way, I feel more motivated to take action and stay committed to my path. 7. Develop purpose through virtue. I've often asked myself, what's my purpose? For a long time, I thought purpose was something I had to find or achieve, but Stoicism has helped me see that purpose isn't necessarily a destination, it's a way of being. According to Stoic principles, our purpose is best developed through virtues like wisdom, courage, justice, and self-control. Rather than looking for an external mission, I focus on aligning my actions with these core values. This approach has brought a lot of clarity to my life. For example, if I'm faced with a tough decision, I ask myself if my choice reflects wisdom or courage. By prioritizing virtues over outcomes, I find a sense of inner fulfillment that's not tied to success or failure. Even if I don't achieve a specific goal, acting in alignment with my values leaves me with a sense of purpose and integrity. Finding purpose through virtue also makes it easier to stay motivated. Instead of being driven by short-term desires or external recognition, I'm fueled by a deeper commitment to living ethically. When I'm clear on my values, I feel more resilient in the face of challenges and setbacks. My actions are not just about achieving goals, they're about becoming the kind of person I aspire to be. This focus on virtue gives me a steady motivation to take action every day, knowing that each choice brings me closer to my ideal self. 8. Simplify your life. Living simply wasn't always easy for me. I used to think that more was better, more stuff, more commitments, more activity. But Stoicism taught me the value of simplicity, and now I see it as one of the greatest sources of peace and focus in my life. When I simplify my environment and my routines, I feel a mental clarity that makes it much easier to focus on what's truly important. One of the first things I did to simplify my life was to declutter my physical space. I got rid of items I didn't use or need, and that act alone felt like a weight lifted off my shoulders. Having fewer things to manage gives me more time and energy to focus on what matters, like my relationships, my work, and my health. Simplifying my life also means saying no to commitments that don't align with my values. This has freed me to invest more deeply in fewer, more meaningful pursuits. I've found that a simpler life is not about deprivation, it's about quality over quantity. By reducing distractions and focusing on essentials, I'm better able to make deliberate, meaningful choices. I'm no longer overwhelmed by endless options or obligations. Instead, my life feels more intentional and my actions have more impact. Living simply has taught me that less really can be more, and I'm motivated each day to act with a clear sense of purpose and joy. 9. Transform challenges into opportunities. In the past, challenges used to feel like roadblocks. I'd get frustrated and feel defeated when things didn't go as planned. But Stoicism has taught me that challenges aren't obstacles, they're opportunities for growth. Instead of seeing setbacks as threats, I now view them as tests that strengthen my character. Each time I face a difficulty, I ask myself what I can learn from it, or how it might help me grow. One example that comes to mind is a recent work project that seemed overwhelming. There were constant changes, tight deadlines, and moments when I doubted my abilities. But instead of letting frustration consume me, I reminded myself that this was a chance to develop resilience and problem-solving skills. By focusing on what I could learn rather than on how hard it was, I ended up discovering new strengths within myself. This mindset shift has transformed how I respond to life's inevitable ups and downs. Rather than being discouraged, I'm motivated to see challenges as necessary parts of my journey. I no longer avoid difficulties or view them as failures. I welcome them as teachers. Embracing this Stoic principle has brought a new level of resilience into my life, making it easier to act with confidence and purpose no matter the situation. 10. Build good habits. I've learned that good habits are like the building blocks of a purposeful life. Stoicism emphasizes that we should cultivate habits that align with our values and help us grow. Habits like mindfulness, gratitude, and persistence aren't just actions, they're reflections of who I want to become. By practicing these habits daily, I'm steadily building a life that's in line with my values and long-term goals. Establishing good habits starts small. I try to pick one simple habit at a time, like setting aside a few minutes each morning to reflect on what I'm grateful for. This habit alone has made me more mindful and appreciative of what I have, setting a positive tone for the rest of my day. Over time, as I've layered more habits that align with my values, I feel a growing sense of peace and purpose. Stoic wisdom has taught me that excellence isn't achieved overnight. It's cultivated through consistent effort. Each small action, repeated daily, builds a foundation for the life I aspire to live. Rather than focusing on perfection, I focus on progress. This makes it easier to forgive myself when I slip up and get back on track. Building good habits has brought a sense of order and direction into my life, helping me take action with a clear and steady focus on my values. We've covered 10 powerful Stoic-inspired strategies to help you take action with purpose, no matter the challenges you face. From embracing self-discipline and transforming obstacles into growth opportunities to building habits that align with your values. These principles are tools you can use every day to live more intentionally and become a stronger, more resilient version of yourself. If you found these insights valuable, please take a moment to like the video and subscribe to the channel for more content that helps you grow and reach your potential. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Share your biggest takeaway or a Stoic principle you're planning to apply in the comments below. And don't forget to share this video with anyone who might benefit from these timeless lessons. Let's keep building a life of purpose, action, and wisdom together. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.